skyhook you to sleep. And you're just going to see it in your dreams over and over. You see the form, it's looking good right there, perfect. I was practicing it since I was 5.
So what about 2K?
Probably our biggest year yet. That's as much as I'll tell you. Stay tuned.
Want to know the real winner in Playing Out Online? Well, I don't know if he's taking on Scott OG's Skyhook, but he is taking home the award for the most wins. Congratulations, Jason.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Greetings and welcome to 2K Sports. I rarely say greetings, but I just did. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, alongside Kenny and Shaq. Tonight, we'll see the Golden State Warriors as they play against the Atlanta Hawks. Looking at the Hawks, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. We're going to have a chance to watch Draymond Green in tonight's game, one of the best defenders in the league. Just what allows him to be such a force on defense, Shaq?
Well, he has great instincts to jump into the passing lanes and anticipate shots. Strong enough and quick enough and can guard any position. He was an all-star last year. I think he's going to be an all-star for the next 4 or 5 years to come.
Well, he's the kind of player, you know, he can get a stop. He can make you guard him. Totally different kind of guy that you're used to seeing, a two-way player at his best.
Time for tip-off as we send it over to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Courtside with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will join us momentarily from the sideline. And of course, they're looking forward to the return of Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and Kevin, they've been doing fine without him. Took on a much different look when he was down, but I think it's suited for them. They've added a few dimensions to their game that maybe they didn't even know they had.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And so in the game for the Hawks, they've got Cephalosha. Muscala is out there with Paul Millsap. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. and it's Schroeder in at the 1. Now here's Schroeder. Millsap sets the pick for Schroeder. Shot off the pick. Rebounded by McGee. And here's Golden State. Coming off that win against Minnesota.
And offensively, everything they did seemed to just come together beautifully. They threw a lot of things at the wall, and most of it stuck.
Well, most of what they threw up popped into the basket. That was the biggest factor. They shot the ball with uncanny accuracy tonight.
And with the playoffs on the horizon, it's a completely different type of game.
Well, the difference, Kevin, really is the fact that you're able to dig so much deeper into what a team does and how effective they are, and then be able to take those things away. That is the test during the playoffs that everybody's up against. Is your next best good enough against our next best?
Small moves can make such a difference.
Little tiny adjustments and wrinkles in some of the things that you do can really throw off a team with the way that they're preparing for you and what you're about to bring in terms of the storm the playoffs are.
And here's Schroeder after the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. 5 to shoot. High post shot. The Warriors pull it in.
Really no excuse for him missing that one, guys. He has to knock that shot down.
And the 10 by Kevin Durant.
And here's the best way to get an earful from your coach. Give Kevin Durant that kind of tap start to this contest. Maybe that first bucket can trigger a run.
Curry kicks to Green. Green, the screen. Thompson misses.
He looked like he was in rhythm to shoot that one, guys, especially as open as he was. Just claimed it.
A clear look for Hardaway. And they cash in right away with the quick shot.
Where was the D on that one? Just too easy.
Here's Durant. And Kevin Durant with the slam.
Crazy long strides there from KD. Once he gets by you on the drive, see you later.
The Hawks trail by 7. Now let's send it over to David Aldridge, who was able to talk with Mike Budenholzer.
Well, Kevin, they have a specific approach to tonight's game. It's only to have to get the ball into the paint as much as possible and take advantage of what they believe is a big edge for them inside. We'll see if they're right about that tonight. Back to you.
Thank you, David.
Beautiful entry feed right where his teammate could do something with it.
Curry kicks to Durant.
And using all of his 7'5" wingspan, Durant turns backwards.
Pittman has gone 0-2 from deep blue. Here's the screen. Miller kicks to Muscala. To the wing right side. To the right side. Here's Millsap. JaVale McGee with the rebound. McGee's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Curry with a wide open look. That's good. And a nice assist from Durant.
And when it rains, it pours. Another jump shot. The twine.
Outside Millsap. Cephalosha kicks to Hardaway. Hits it from 3-point range. Hardaway's got 7.
He's getting anything he wants out there. He has this look in his eyes that says, nobody's going to stop me. Not tonight.
McGee is 3-on-3. Curry kicks to McGee. And that's nice touch by Millsap. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Warriors.
And they really feasted from beyond the arc. Quantity and quality, where they filled it up. And when you can punish a defense like that from long range, it can be demoralizing.
Curry passes to McGee. Outside Durant, just 5 to shoot. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
Yeah, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Pass to Hardaway. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He really can time those perfectly. What an assist. The first thing you talk about with the Hawks is the versatility and the depth of their front court. Not the biggest inside, but certainly their skill level is a cut above, and they can hurt you in many ways.
That's as forceful advantage as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
And it's Millsap with the extra effort. Millsap's got his first 2 points of the night.
Like seeing Millsap there going hard for the offensive glass and then getting the easy putback.
And that's a foul. That's called on Cephalosha. That's his first foul.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Now here's Durant. Not a lot of room. Outside for Curry. And a wide open shot from Green. Offensive rebound. And there's the whistle. Foul hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
A perennial All-NBA first teamer. Durant would prefer to become a perennial NBA champion.
Ilya Silva is checked in for last. Well, every year you see Kevin Durant putting up huge numbers on offense and is always in the mix when it comes to the scoring title. Brent, there is just no easy way to slow him down.
Well, it's one thing, Kevin, to score and be explosive that way. It's another thing to be efficient in your scoring. He's never averaged less than 20 points per game since coming into the league, and he's never dipped below 25 points since his rookie year. And that's amazing stuff. And he puts all those huge numbers up, an incredibly efficient shooting percentage.
And the Hawks making a change here.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Millsap a screen on Durant. Here's Delaney. Another three for Atlanta.
Amazing screen set by Horford to help get his man the clean look.
Warriors leading by 6. Curry with it. He picked up 33 points in their last one against Minnesota.
Felt like he had a sense in that game that the defense was being over-aggressive, and he tried to take advantage of that. He continually frustrated them throughout the night and got to the free throw line.
Stephen Curry hits them both. When you think of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA, I mean, the slashers, though, seem to always come to the fore. The players who make their mail, attacking the rim. So fun to watch.
Well, James Harden really does it best in the league, and I've watched James Harden games on television, but I've also had an incredible pleasure being able to call James Harden games by the court. And to see him manipulate defenders, and I'm not talking about one, I'm talking about 3 and 4 on possessions to find his way to the free throw line, is remarkable and has an uncanny ability to draw those fouls.
Slithers. He doesn't. I don't know if it's power, although I think he's a very strong, physically strong guy. He controls his body about as well as any slasher in the game.
He controls his body, Kevin, and is able to stop, start, change angles that a lot of players just can't even think about. They just don't even conceive that you're able to do that. That slow down two-step, and he does so many tricky things also, Kevin, with the way he moves the ball around. He extends it away from his body, brings it back in, brings it towards the defender, and then away from the defender, and guess what? It results in free throws most every time.
Something to watch.
You just have to be more disciplined. I mean, too many fouls and free throw attempts for the opponent.
The Warriors have been at their finest 4 at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Golden State. Iguodala comes in for Green.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. Picked by Pachulia. Durant kicks to Curry. That's good. A nice assist from Durant. 11 points for Steph Curry.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Here's Delaney. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start. Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
Here's Hardaway. He's got 10. Offline with his 3. Durant kicks to Pachulia. 10 Pachulia with the dunk.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Yeah, it looks like the makings of a blowout here, but their task now is to maintain this level of effectiveness and not get sloppy.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Curry dishes to Thompson. Good team.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
And even though he's been on a roll tonight, that one was a bit forced.
And Ilyasova kicks to Hardaway. The pass to Prince, expanding his range. Kept alive by Atlanta. Back to Hardaway. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
Oh, up high and down hard with that one-hander.
He got a little extra forceful. You're right with that one. Curry kicks to Pachulia. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at Chicago. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, Atlanta, 2 spots down.
And I think for the Hawks, a lot to live up to this season. And really, they have come through it. It can be hard on a team when the expectations are that high, trust me. But it has not bothered them one bit.
Well, as high as those expectations were, they've only gotten higher as the season has gone along. They look poised to make a serious run at the trophy come playoff time.
And we get a chance to check out the numbers for Andre Iguodala. He's right around 9 points a night, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you look at those numbers, not bad. But, guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it. And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Yep, wanted to put another nail in the coffin and using those hands as a hammer.
Picked by Humphries. And Steph Curry with the foul. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Here's Ilyasova, sinks the 15-footer.
Ilyasova very comfortable in letting it go from a step or two in from the line, no problem from the mid-range.
Curry passes to Clark. In the corner, Iguodala with it. Shoots from the block. West outside from deep three-point range. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. The Hawks trail by 13. There's the feed to Ilyasova. To the middle, here's Humphries. When you look around the NBA, so much turnover in the coaching ranks. I think I read that since the end, Brent, of the 2012-13 season, only about 6 or 7 coaches have remained with the same team. It's a tough job.
It's a very difficult business, Kevin, and I think a lot of the younger ownership groups, and we've had a lot of ownership changeover as well,
Sure have.
are not willing to be as patient with the coaching staffs that they've put in place, and that doesn't allow guys to develop in the same system over and over. I always think about DeMarcus Cousins in the first few years in Sacramento, seeing 5 or 6 different coaches for him and having to learn a new way to play each time a coach comes in and moving him around the system. It's very hard to find consistency, not only with a team, but with an individual player because of so much changeover.
You sometimes see more patience in other sports. That doesn't seem to be the case in the NBA.
And I think one of the reasons why in the NBA, Kevin, is, you know this, 2 or 3 guys.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either. Humphries with a screen on Iguodala. And here's Prince outside. Buries the long-range jumper. Prince has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Warriors leading by 11. 59 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Out to the wing. Here's Clark. Doesn't go that time. And Atlanta will come the other way. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
And what a luxury when you have depth. I mean, a lot of their scoring in that win came from their reserves. And make no mistake, they carry the load for that team.
It was a big night for their bench, no doubt about it. When the backups were called on, they were ready. They never missed a beat with the second unit on the floor.
Iguodala outside. And the jam by Andre Iguodala.
No doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
I love it because the defense is going to have to adjust, pack in the lane, and then you can play inside out.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. There's a screen. Bazemore dishes to Ilyasova. Atlanta again missing. To the left side wing. Out to West. The dish now to Pachulia. Here's Clark. And he hits the buzzer beater.
And he beats the buzzer to end the quarter.
Like a guy delivering ice, a very cool customer there. He knew the clock was winding down, but hit it as though there was no other shot.
And of Steph Curry's success, as he was not a highly regarded 5-star recruit coming out of high school.
There's obviously ways that you can get better as a player from year to year and find different ways to show, what you're capable of. And that's kind of how, my story unfolded from high school to now, is just adding a little bit of piece here, a piece there every single year.
And he's certainly become not only a complete player, but the kind of true star guys that every team is looking to build around.
When he was drafted, Steph was viewed by most scouts as a great shooter. Not a centerpiece, but boy, were they wrong.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And for the Warriors, this has been the game they wanted to have.
This has been a shooting drill thus far.
And the defense has had zero answers for how to stop them. Could require a whole new strategy.
On the court for Atlanta, Bazemore is the 3 with Millsap the 4. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Hardaway. And it's Muscala in at the 5 down low. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Olden.
Kevin, as always, the Atlanta Hawks run that fluid offensive system that is widely admired. You know, Steve Kerr, our old friend, used to say they get to the next level of their offense. Take away the first option, they automatically get to the second. Take that one, they automatically and fluidly get to the third option. Very few teams do that. Kevin?
Passing and shooting, DA, that's what it's all about. Thank you. The drive by Thompson, and it's Thompson with the jam.
And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
1 through 12, it's been a total team effort. Guys giving their all on both ends of the floor, and you can see that reflected on that scoreboard.
Nobody near Schroeder, and once again off the mark by Atlanta.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Golden State moving the ball around. Here's Iguodala. Rebounded by Hardaway.
Too ambitious of him there, guys. He tried to be a one-man wrecking ball instead of looking to kick the ball out for the better shot opportunity.
And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going.
And there isn't a whole lot of positives that you can take away from his performance from the mid-range game so far. A lot of chances have come up empty.
What's up?
But he seems intent on taking jumpers out there. Something's got to give.
The Hawks have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
And Brent, you look at Kent Bazemore, undrafted out of Old Dominion. At first, he was known more for his sideline antics as a reserve for the Warriors than anything else.
Well, now he's got other guys on the sideline waving towels, Kevin. He's developed into a very valuable rotation player, and he still plays with a chip on his shoulder, and I think that really helps him.
The Hawks trail by 17. Hardaway kicks it over to Schroeder. Now here's Bazemore, defended by Durant. Here's Muscala. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Muscala's got 5 points so far.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
McGee a screen. Durant the pass to Clark. That one off the back iron and out. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Bazemore misses. Warriors leading by 14. Durant kicks to McGee. Outside, Green. No one near him. Green missing again.
Well, he's the last guy you want to leave open there, but somehow he didn't knock it down.
Bazemore gets the bucket.
Well, once Bazemore gets the ball off the pass, he immediately skies up for the jump shot and nails it. You like to see that kind of assertive, aggressive, confident attitude. Beautiful setup. Put that pass right where it needed to be.
Tavo Cephalosha has checked in for Kent Bazemore. Brent, when you played, you were one of the best passing wings in the NBA. How did you come about developing that play style, that skill of feeding others so well?
Huge influence for me, Kevin, growing up was Pistol Pete Maravich. I watched a lot of tapes, and maybe people out there remember old VHS tapes of homework basketball that Pistol Pete put out, and I watched those incessantly and went out in the driveway and tried those things, and then eventually frustrated every coach that I played for. But I had an innate ability to see the floor, some peripheral vision that I tried to use to my advantage, and I enjoyed always making the play for the next guy.
And you both came from basketball families. His dad was his coach at LSU.
That is correct. And although Press wanted Pete to shoot a lot, and he did.
And he did. And you?
And I was more of a pass-first guy.
Yeah.
I think with my dad, he took all the shots away from his teammates. I wanted to be a better teammate.
He took a family's worth of shots, right?
That is correct. And I spent years making up for it.
6 on the shot clock. Thompson against Hardaway. And Thompson sends it back.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
He kicks it to McGee. Pass to Clark. Dishes to Durant. And that's a foul. It's called on Thabo Sefolosha. That's foul number 2 for him.
He has to back off on defense just a little bit. His team cannot afford to have him on the bench at this point in the game due to foul trouble.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, you want your guys to attack with confidence, but that's just a bad look.
Millsap a screen. Schroeder dishes to Hardaway. Back to Schroeder. Shoots the 3. Yes, and it's Hardaway picking up the assist. Hardaway has got 3 assists in the game. Warriors leading by 12. Clark kicks to McGee. McGee sets the pick for Durant. There's the dish to Clark. Durant in the corner. Oh, and the jam by Durant.
What I like to see there, Durant no longer shies away. From contact inside. Nowadays, he is the aggressor.
Outside Hardaway. Offensive rebound. Another shot. McGee with the block. Out of bounds. Hawks ball as Atlanta keeps possession. Hardaway passes to Sefolosha. And the jam by Sefolosha.
Great finish at the rim from Sefolosha. He can really throw it down with that athleticism.
Clark kicks to Green. Pass to Durant. Jacks up a 3. Rebounded by Hardaway.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Ball's knocked loose. Lots of room. And it's Hardaway again missing.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target. Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
Curry's checked in for the Warriors. Now here's Durant. He's covered closely. And Kevin Durant with the slam.
Ever since college, it's been like this. Durant has the ability to essentially score at will.
Now here's Schroeder. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game.
He just doesn't seem to be himself shooting the ball right now, guys. Just looks a tad bit uneasy, and that's affecting the result.
Curry against Schroeder. The wide open look for Durant. Tries to keep it alive. And it's out of bounds. The Warriors able to retain possession here. With the pause in the action, let's bring you the list of teams that have been lighting it up over the last 10 games. The Warriors, number 1.
Yeah, what an impressive run for this club. Everybody seems to be in a rhythm in terms of scoring, and they are putting up some big numbers.
Green dishes to Curry. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
It's tipped. To the paint with the tip. Paul Millsap with the rebound. The Hawks trail by 16.
And so much more responsibility for Hawks head coach Mike Budenholzer, named the team president in the summer of 2015. But I'll tell you what, he's been well prepared. 18 years in San Antonio, actually played for Coach Popovich during those days where he was an athlete. He'll tell you he still is one, but he's doing a terrific job.
Finds it from downtown.
The shooting percentage is excellent so far, and without him, they might not have the lead like they do now.
Millsap a screen. Green against Millsap, and fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot two. Paul Millsap picks one up. When you think of the temperament of Mike Budenholzer, comparing him to, say, Greg Popovich, who he was an assistant coach under for well over a decade, Brent, how would you compare the two of them?
They're very charismatic. They're the kind of coaches that as players, once you get some time with them, get a chance to know them, that what they're trying to do is just get the best out of you. That's something that both of them share.
And the Warriors making a change here. Pachulia is checked in. Prince's shot is good.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Warriors leading by 16. Thompson. And again, no good by Golden State.
And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
And he does have range. It's a makeable shot for him, but still no guarantees that's going down.
Atop the key, Prince. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Pachulia's got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight. Back to Thompson. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. From deep, Green gets that one in the game after 4 straight misses.
He's the last guy on this team that you want to leave alone. Great look.
And here's Schroeder. He's got 5. Ilyasova is screen on Curry. But they recover it. And it's Schroeder missing.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Very lazy defense there, but luckily they got bailed out by the missed shot. He won't miss many of those opportunities.
Knocked away. Durant against Prince. 6 to shoot. Here's Humphries. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pachulia's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Back to Green. And it's Green with the jam.
Well, some people say that he's too short to play the power forward, but then you see him skying over guys. That is an equalizer.
Picked by Humphries. Kicks it to Schroeder. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Some changes for Golden State. West comes in for Green, and it's Iguodala in for Durant. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Dennis Schroeder. On offense, here are the Warriors. They're on a 16-7 run. Up top, Curry. He's got 20. Up top, Pachulia. Here's Iguodala. West down low, working on Ilyasova.
Ilyasova not known for his defense, but with the length he has on those arms of his, he got to the ball.
Here's Thompson. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game. 1:37 left in the first half. Feeds to Prince. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And Ilyasova kicks it to Bazemore. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And stolen by Prince. Here's Delaney. The shot will not fall. So Golden State will take it the other way. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they got the better of this matchup both times they faced off last season. Do they still have their number?
Well, we'll find out. Such talent on the floor tonight on each side of the matchup. There's some conference pride at stake, too. Both teams being among the cream of the crop in the East and the West.
They set the screen. Atop the key, Prince. Jumper off the screen. And that one goes long.
Yeah, and a dangerous trend here as they're starting to live and die with outside jumpers.
And it's Thompson again missing. The Hawks shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Here's Humphries. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
and you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Outside Curry. Pass to Pachulia. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. This is his second trip to the free throw line. First one falls for him. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Now Bazemore. He's got 5. There's the pick. Will it go? What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
And money to end the quarter there with the triple.
It felt like he felt like time was winding down, saw the opening, nailed the shot.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair.
What's up, guys? How are we all?
Running away with it. And now let's catch up with David.
Hope you're enjoying the show.
From the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach, probably not the defensive effort you were hoping for thus far.
Yeah, no, our defense isn't where it needs to be. I think they're getting open looks. We're overshifting, and then we're not committing to shooters. So it's not very good.
Mike, thanks very much for your time. Kevin, back to you.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
First half in the books. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome back as we break down all the action. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 20 points and 3 assists. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, their field goal percentage is a number that jumps off the page. May I say it's Shaq-like? Seriously, they're incredibly efficient shooting the basketball, and I don't think they settle for any bad shots. And you're never going to go wrong with that strategy.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Hawks?
They were Brick City, and it was painful to watch. Weak shooting starts to get contagious, and they were struggling all over the place. They got to work on getting more high-quality chances, more layups, fewer prayers.
And that about wraps it up.
We welcome you back to the beautiful Bay Area with the lights of Oakland illuminating the evening. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
And the approach in that first half was an aggressive one. Take it to the teeth of the defense, put them on the heels, and you're either going to score or get to the line.
Yeah, every drive has been decisive, and defenders just not keeping up with them. They are having to foul him.
The incredible shooting pair of Curry and Thompson in the backcourt. Green is out there with JaVale McGee. And it's Durant in at the small forward. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half.
Well, that shot by Cephalosha goes up almost as soon as he catches the ball there. Really quick release.
Here's Thompson. Good, and Curry gets the assist. And that's 21 points for Klay Thompson.
You really have to guard against his smarts. He knows every angle.
And the pass to Schroeder. To the inside. It's stolen by Green. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. And then Durant with the dunk.
You know what? He wasn't going to wait around for any help on that break.
No reason to wait. That was all his from the get-go.
Millsap a screen. Schroeder with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He was all alone on that one. Millsap's got 5.
Stretch 4s are valued commodities. Millsap has become a consistent threat from there. Well, as people start to put together underrated lists, Paul Millsap at the power forward or small forward position comes up quite a bit. It's been that way for his entire career. Drafted 47th in 2006, and all he'd done at Louisiana Tech was lead the nation in rebounding, an unprecedented 3 consecutive seasons.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Chris Humphries was first one of the best rebounders in the league, and now, after a few years of tinkering with the jumper, he's become a pretty good shooting big man. After the 2015 playoffs, Wizards coach Randy Whitman suggested that Humphries work on his three-pointer. Humphries said, "I hadn't really worked on it ever. I just had to adapt. I went at it trying to expand my game so I can play longer." Kevin?
I'm sure we'll see a lot of players trying to add that three, Pierre. Thank you. And for Millsap, he's never been the most explosive athlete or Brent the most imposing to look at. Really, he's undersized at 6'8".
Well, I think a lot of coaches out there who covet a skill set of somebody at his size didn't misread him. That's why he's having the success he's had the past couple of seasons.
I love the low post attack on that one.
McGee, the pass to Curry. He dishes it to Green. Back to Curry. Golden State moving it around. Here's Durant. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
There's definitely an argument to be made that Kevin Durant is the best offensive player in the league. He does not get as many touches as some of the premier players that we talk about often in this conversation, but he is unguardable at times. Commands so much attention on the offensive end and plays amazing player.
And we take a look here at the shot chart.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around, as his energy is contagious out there right now.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And Durant is on the short list of best scorers right now, Brent, in the NBA. Certainly it's him and Steph Curry as the top two options.
Both generational talents, that's for sure. And what's incredible is that Durant pretty much has been the same player and has had the same consistency his entire career. When it's all said and done, Kevin, he could finish as one of the greatest scorers to ever suit up.
Here's Curry with the three. Atlanta with the rebound. Hardaway has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Schroeder against Thompson. Schroeder dishes to Millsap. Stolen by Thompson. Right side Durant. Left side Curry. That's good. A nice assist from Durant. Curry's got 4 this quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And Muscala kicks it over to Schroeder. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Golden State.
Oh man, this game would shift drastically if he was on tonight and making those shots that we normally see him hit. He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
Back to Hardaway. To the paint. The feed to Cephalosha. Just 2 to shoot. Tries a 3. Kept alive by Atlanta. Millsap. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
But when a guy like Paul Millsap gets inside, sometimes your best efforts on D aren't going to mean much.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Connects from 3-point range. Hardaway has got 17 now.
Not a lot of talk going on defensively. That's a good shot for him.
Durant, the pass to Green. Thompson sets the pick for McGee. Inside, here's Hardaway. Green with the block. He feeds it to Durant. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
Well, he's professional in everything that he does. Durant recognizes that opportunity and turns pro.
Down low. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And for Thabo Sefolosha, a lot more news off the court in 2014 than on it. I'm just glad that he has moved on from those incidents, finds himself in a good place and is back playing his brand of basketball.
Here's Durant. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
A moment here to check out Kevin Durant. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. 2nd in field goal percentage, 5th in scoring, And how about his top 10 ranking in free throw percentage? A knockdown shooter, ultra reliable from the line.
Oh, trying for it. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. West is checked in for JaVale McGee. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Kent Bazemore is checked in for Hardaway. Millsap down low. Guarded by Green. Schroeder against West. Here's Muscala. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And with the new player tracking cameras they have now, so many possibilities, Brent, as far as studying the game. And I'm sure you think that somewhere, somehow, is going to make a difference on the way these teams are conditioned, how they're coached, the minutes they play, and on and on.
I think what it's great for a coaching staff to look at, Kevin, is with regards to specific plays that you run for your ball club, how it is that spatially your players are relating to one another. You can use these cameras to track the distance players are running. You can track where it is that they're setting screens and how effective they are. The list goes on and on and on. But coaches can really dig into the minutia of how it is that their players are coordinating with one another with the use of this technology.
That is a great point. And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. Now here is Cephalosha. He's covered by Thompson. Cephalosha dishes to Bazemore. No good off the back of the rim.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And let's take a moment to show you the NBA's best rebounding teams over the last 10 games. The Warriors, number 1.
What a show of strength in terms of rebounding. I mean, they've really controlled the glass here of late, playing with some extreme physicality.
Good on the second free throw. Atlanta's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Picked by Humphries. Bazemore with it. 8 points for him. Shot clock at 5 from 20 feet out. Offensive rebound to the wing on the left. Second shot opportunity. It's not going to go for him. The Warriors go the other way. Pachulia kicks to Curry. It's deflected. Here's Prince. Andre Iguodala comes up with the rebound. West outside. The dish to Thompson. Picked by West. And Thompson kicks to Curry. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
They are just killing them on the interior.
He's gone 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Atlanta's shooting 31% here in the third. Offensively, they are looking bleak. Here's Delaney. Atlanta again missing. Golden State's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Left side Curry. Got a piece of it. Prince outside. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Back to Ilyasova to stop the drought. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Ilyasova's got his second bucket tonight.
It's nice to see the confidence he shows on his inside game and ability to get the shot up before the defender can do anything.
Ilyasova against West. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Take a look at the Warriors. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And of course, there's the Spurs, 4 games back.
And seeing where the Warriors are, a lot to live up to this season. And really, they have come through. It can be hard on a team when the expectations are that high. Trust me, but it has not bothered them one bit.
Well, as high as those expectations were, they've only gotten higher as the season has gone along. They look poised to make a serious run at the trophy come playoff time.
Offensive rebound. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Humphries has got 7 points.
Just claimed that possession for his own there, grabs the offensive rebound and puts it right back in.
On the wing, it's Iguodala, guarded by Prince. And the chip by Iguodala.
Wow, look at how quick he flashes to the rim there for the finish.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Dishes it to Ilyasova. Here's Humphries. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Pachulia kicks to Iguodala. And Andre Iguodala with the slam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. So it's Atlanta now. Passes it to Ilyasova. Prince outside. Up top, Bazemore. He kicks it to Humphries. Pass to Bazemore. From deep three-point range, David West grabs the miss. West has got his 3rd rebound tonight.
But whether the shots are wide open or contested, he is just having no luck right now, guys, with anything.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
The Hawks shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively. Picked by Humphries. In the corner, Bazemore with it. To halt the run, buries the long-range jumper. He's got 11.
And the three-point shot is something Bazemore has improved steadily over his career. You can't give him room like that to fire. Well, you would think a coach might have talked to his defense about making the adjustment on him, but right now, he's just lighting him up.
Kicks to Ilyasova. Feeds it to Prince. Ilyasova is screen on Iguodala. Here's Prince. Banked in off the glass. Prince has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
Golden State's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Oh, and he pops it off the glass. Wow. It's Curry outside. Rebound, Atlanta. Ilyasova's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Delaney, great pass to set up the lay-in.
Fantastic awareness out on the floor. That's a textbook assist.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Kicks it out to Iguodala.
I don't know if you push the panic button now, but that's the 4th personal, and he needs to stay aggressive out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays moving forward.
He is 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
And up to this point on the season, he's set a pace of right around 73% when he gets to the line.
McCaw, he's checked in for Golden State. Pass to Bazemore. Prince, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Warriors ahead, just dominating this one. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. On the court right now for the Hawks. Calderon is out there with Bembry. Then it's Chris Humphries. Then there's Dunleavy, and it's Prince in at the power forward.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. Now here's Calderon. Defense is right there. Humphries sets a pick for Prince. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Humphries. Dunleavy the pass to Calderon. Another 3 for Atlanta.
I certainly didn't expect Calderon to pull up from that deep, but he makes that triple look pedestrian.
There's the pass to Looney. When some things go wrong, Brent, with the team, you often hear about a players-only meeting. I'm sure you've been through a couple of those. What exactly goes on in those meetings?
It's always interesting the location of some of those meetings,
really?
Kevin, I can tell you. Yeah, depending on if you're at home or if you're on the road, you're going to cram 14 7-footers into room 605 and have a discussion and a heart-to-heart talk about where your season is headed. But it's interesting to hear sometimes who speaks up in those meetings. Everybody's looking towards the star player, the guy that carries the most load, but sometimes the most impressive voice and the one that has the most impact can come from some strange places, some interesting places and with interesting perspective.
Is it only relegated to bad teams, or have you been on good teams that have had players-only meetings?
I've had both, Kevin, and it's interesting when teams are having some success and call a players-only meeting, how much you get down to the details of what your season represents. If it's a bad team, we're talking about, reestablishing the entire civilization of what's going on around you. But on a really good team, it could be about something very, very specific to your offense, to your defense, or your approach to the games that you want to just clear up because there are greater things at stake.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
And that one misses. John Livingston, he's checked in for the Warriors. And he ends up missing both free throws. The Warriors shooting has just been outstanding tonight. 56% as a team in this game. And a hot button topic in the NBA right now, intentional fouling. Brent, we've talked a little bit about it. What should the league do to take steps to cut down on the heck of player strategies that seem to be more in vogue now than ever before?
Of course, we always say just go up and make your free throws, big guys. But I think strategically there could be something done with the league, Kevin, that can make that rule very, very interesting. I've always thought that if the player as a center or whoever it is you're going to foul stays in the backcourt and never enters the possession, he can't be fouled. When he enters the front court, then you can foul him and put it at the free throw line. So what you're doing essentially, taking a poor free throw shooter and having to play 4-on-5 for a possession if you're willing to keep him on the floor. And from a strategy standpoint, I think it would make it very interesting.
West dishes to Livingston. Just 5 on the clock. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. For 3, Dunleavy bangs home the trifecta.
And that's just some great vision there from Calderon to see the wide open man for the easy make.
Now here's Livingston. He's guarded by Calderon.
And how's that for some ups coming from that one?
Well, he is a rarity among NBA point guards in his ability to elevate.
Gotta love the fact that going vertical is a major part of what makes him so difficult as a point guard to defend, especially around the rim.
Here's Dunleavy. That ball's nice speed this time from Jose Calderon.
Well, you can't give him that kind of a position in the post.
Absolutely not. Bottom line is the D has to do everything it can to prevent him from getting that deep.
Clark kicks it to Looney. Let's go. And off the glass. That one's good. Here's Prince. When you look at the growth of the game internationally, you have some that say the system of development is better abroad in Europe than other countries. What do you think?
Well, the club system, Kevin, over there, and having a player involved at the age of 12 years old all the way up to 20 years old, playing with your same countrymen, being pushed around by professionals, getting professional coaching, and the type of practice regimen that they have. Most of the time, 2-a-days practice for most of the season, that's going to get you in pretty good shape and teach you the fundamentals of the game.
And a lot of those fundamentals, a lot of those practices were established by former coaches from this country that would go over there and hold these summer camps.
That's right. A lot of them implemented what they learned from the coaches from the United States and then took them to the next level. And again, a lot of those coaches who traveled from the United States to Europe really were instrumental in what it is that has now become the European development of basketball.
Tries again, and it's West again missing.
Yeah, I know the shot's been off just a smidge tonight, but he's contributed in other ways to help his team have the lead in this game so far.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Yeah, awesome job right there, closing out on the shooter to contest. May have made him adjust that just a bit.
Now here's Calderon. He dishes it to Muscala. They set the pick. Here's Bembry, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. Then for the Hawks, Paul Millsap's checked in for Humphries. Cephalosha comes in for Dunleavy. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jose Calderon. A lot of international players coming to the NBA, Brent. The number have reached triple digits. About a quarter of the league now from overseas.
Amazing that NBA scouts and general managers continue to comb the globe to try to find the best available talent, and it still speaks to what it is that those club systems in the European countries are able to do with their younger players.
And I always think of the old coaches would go overseas, hold these camps, and get these kids at a very young age and teach them the principles of basketball.
And a lot of coaches, Kevin, are still looking at the fundamental elements of the game, and it seems like the European players are the ones that they always point to that are ahead of where we are here in the States.
And the shot is good.
You see the defense looking around as if somebody else has the problem. They collectively do. This guy's on fire.
And here's Schroeder. There's the pick. Takes the 3. Good on the triple.
I mean, letting that guy shoot freely from out there, he's going to destroy you from the perimeter if you do that.
Curry passes to Green. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Paul Millsap picks one up. First one falls for Ian Clark's checked in for Klay Thompson. And the Hawks making a change here. Both free throws good from Green. Atlanta's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the 4th and been successful 3 times. Millsap a screen. Cephalosha with it. Guarded now by Durant. Cephalosha dishes to Millsap. Pocket 6. Unable to get that one. Golden State's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. Paul Millsap picks one up.
Well, despite his outward demeanor, Durant plays with so much passion, takes the hit, still able to convert.
Pachulia, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. Hardaway from outside. Atlanta gets it back. Another shot. Count that one.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Yeah, where's the box out? That's a mistake that is easily preventable with some fundamentals.
Here's Clark. The feed now to Pachulia. Outside Curry. Clark kicks to Pachulia. Millsap with the steal. Here we go, all alone. Muscala hits the bucket.
His shooting percentage is really outstanding tonight, and his team has needed it big time.
Curry. Rebounded by Hardaway. Hardaway has got his 4th rebound in this one. They grabbed their own miss. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And he knocks down the first one. Brent, you often see players talking with an official after a call or an on-call. Were you ever able to make headway with the ref by talking to them after a play, whether you agreed, disagreed, or whatever?
Well, the biggest part about it, Kevin, is all about your approach. So if you walk up to the referees and you're kind and you're courteous, they're going to listen to what it is that you have to say. So it's all about your timing and your approach with the officials to point out something that may be happening in the game or a trend that you see in the early part of the game, just to draw their attention to some of that action during the course of a period.
Did coaches always make players aware of who is officiating and what to look for?
I really never had a coach in a pregame meeting, Kevin, come in and mention the officials who were reffing that game that night. Never happened in my career.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
And you look at the advanced numbers, very quietly, Paul Millsap is one of the most effective rim protectors in the league.
Yeah, I think that's pretty impressive, Kevin, and it speaks to not just the physical abilities of a player, but mentally being able to read what it is that offenses are doing and step into the right position. He's only 6'6" in socks, but when you take into account that wingspan, he can be effective down low.
Sefolosha hits both of them.
Well, Sefolosha has really carved out a nice role for himself in the NBA. A very important role player, definitely known for his lockdown defense.
Curry kicks to Pachulia. Picked by Pachulia. Some nice passing by Golden State here. And the dunk by West.
And a hard finish there, guys.
And only one hand needed for that one. Atlanta's shooting about 40% here in the fourth quarter. Now the dish to Millsap. Outside Hardaway. Millsap a screen, trying his luck deep, and he's good on the three ball.
And since the start of the fourth quarter, that three-point shot has just been there.
Well, they're doing a great job of working around the arc, locating the right shooter. That deep ball is a serious weapon right now.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
Well, even a dentist would tell you that's a sweet move for that lay-in. And yeah, you gotta love his tenacity.
Out to Hardaway. Another three for Atlanta.
Man, they came out smoking here from beyond.
Man, I would have loved to have been a fly in the wall while the coach was talking to the team at halftime. They've been unconscious from deep.
Outside Curry. Stolen away. Fast break here. Here come the Hawks. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for two.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Fearless, despite the size mismatch, took it right to him.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Sefolosha's got 5 points in the quarter.
One thing that Sefolosha continues to do well is stretch the floor with the outside shot, something he shows off there.
Pachulia kicks to Clark. He feeds it to Durant. 6 to shoot. Baseline J on the way. That's good on the jump shot. Durant's got 35.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Maybe a great run of games coming here. Let's see if he can keep building on this performance.
And some changes here for the Warriors. JaVale McGee's checked in for Pachulia. Green comes in for David West. That's Thompson in for Ian Clark. Humphries kicks it to Bazemore. Off target from three-point range.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone. And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Durant. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Curry passes to Green. They get it back. Curry dishes to Thompson. Now here's Durant. He's guarded closely. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Here's Delaney. He trains the quick shot. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Curry kicks to McGee. McGee sets the pick for Thompson. Here's Curry with the three. But they recover it. Dishes to McGee. Back to Thompson. That's tipped and stolen by Bazemore. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate
That's all, folks.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Kevin. Stephen, a big win here at home. How important is that momentum from playing a game like tonight?
Well, we just needed to win tonight. I mean, that was big for our morale in our locker room, and we got to practice today tomorrow to watch the film and keep getting better. It does feel good to win, but we do have another tough game coming in, so we'll be ready and hopefully protect home court again.
Well, we'll see if we can build on this win tonight. Congratulations. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony,
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant. What a beast he was in the final period. Got into the kind of shooting rhythm that can basically end a game. In fact, it effectively did.
You talk about a dominant shooting performance. He had defenders draped all over him, and he never looked flustered, and he never looked confused, and his confidence was never shaky.
He was dominant, throwing one haymaker after another, and the crowd absolutely loved it. They were eating it up. It's a love affair between him and this city, especially when he's tearing it up like that. He delivered a beauty tonight.
And that is a wrap, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. See you again soon.